Tuesday Night Raw is on deck. Pardon us yesterday. We couldn't make. We had to take care of some life businesses and happenings. But we're back on deck. It's your boy Jarv here alongside Sincere the Rap Snob, alongside the homie Dini. Macito will pull up on us a little bit later on in the pod. Shout out to the chat already building in the chat as you see a whole conversation about Rand and Hit Boy and things of that nature. We should be having a special guest, a member of BSF should be joining us a little bit later on in the pod. But before we get to the interview aspect of it all, we got to give you the takes, give you the topics that y'all come here to see. Like y'all told us in the past, the interviews are cool, but we here to hear from y'all. So we're gonna listen to the people, give y'all our bars first before we do any of the interviews. You know what I mean? But again, fellas, y'all chop it up real quick. Let me just get these links out to the socials, and then we can start this bill.
So Sincere, talk to me, brother. What's the vibes?
Listen, this weekend was crazy. You know what I mean? I had a little family situation. I don't want to, get anybody down, so I won't get too deep into it. But it was a lot of family time. But also a lot of music I was listening to. Obviously, that Ransom. We're going to talk about it in a second. A lot of Biggie, obviously. You know what I mean? It was March 9th. Every March 9th, you gotta run them Biggie numbers up on the streams. You know what I mean? And y'all might be surprised, but I was kind of spinning that Schoolboy Q a little bit.
What? Okay, Sid.
I don't know. No, listen. So here's the deal, right? I went straight to the back of the album, the end, that last run, and that last run of the album is impeccable. Starting from like Law, because you know what it was? I went straight to Lost Signs because that's the Alchemist joint. You know what I mean?
Right.
Me and Alchemist is like this, right? And then I just let it play through to Germany '86. Time Killers was crazy, and I went back to my notes and I was like, on first listen, I was like, Time Killers was all right, and then I listened to it again and I was like, yo, I was bugging. Time Killers goes crazy. Pig Feet is fire. Smile goes out crazy. So that last run had me in a lock over this weekend. I basically stayed within those last 4 to 5 songs. So okay. I'm gonna revisit the first half of the album at some point, but that last run,
welcome back,
pretty fire. So
you're almost there.
You know what I'm thinking? What it is that by the time I got to the end of the album, I was already turned off by things that had happened earlier in the album, and it messed with the way that I received it. Pause. So, but if you go straight to that run is crazy, man. So yeah, shouts to Schoolboy Q. I'm coming around, man. I'm coming around. You know what I mean? And if Punch is out there watching, my bad. I'm sorry.
He might be. He might just be. You never know. What about you, Dean? What the weekend was looking like for you, B?
Recovery, man. I had some dental work done. Trying to get my jibs right. It was good, man. I went to a Knicks game on Sunday. We lost, but it was a good game.
So you're bad luck.
It's well, kind of. I'm like 2-6 right now for Knicks. 2 out of 6, so 2 and 4. But
so you're bad luck. It's you.
No, it's not me. It's not me. I've been a diehard fan. Knicks, bro. It's been a rough life for me since like '92.
They only scored 73 points for you, bro. That's crazy.
With no Embiid and no Maxey, bro.
Guys are bums.
How you let Pretty Boy Oubre go like that? But
that's crazy.
It was beautiful energy in the building. I had my lady with me. It was good vibes.
Good vibes.
Also,
all right.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, I mean, the views was decent, but I was expecting more comments on that Biggie and Nas post, the short that I put up. You know what I mean? I need to hear from y'all. Did Biggie get Nas on Kicking the Door? Let us know, man.
Wow.
More comments.
Talk to us.
Run that up.
That you asking them to choose. That's a tricky topic for them. You know what I mean? They
don't have to choose. They don't have to choose. I'm just asking. Yeah, did he get him a little bit, a lot?
Yeah, you asking for too much, man. You asking for a little bit too much.
It's a strong song, man. A strong song.
Leroy, of course, is chiming in. You know what I mean?
Leroy.
What Leroy talking about?
Leroy. He said, "Oh, he's saying he definitely got Nas on that." LOL.
Well, that's why they not responding.
I want to have that conversation one day. The few times Nas has been best on the record, it hasn't been too many times. But it's been a handful of times. That'd be a good conversation.
Okay. I see the vision. You know what I mean? All right, I'm just doing my production thing on the side. All right, fellas, so let's get into this, B. Over the weekend, the Art of Dialogue, doing what he does, puts out this Dame Dash clip. You know, Dame and his America New Network, he's finding a way. First, it was Mav doing the interviews. Now we got this other gentleman whose name escapes me. No disrespect to bro, I just don't know your name. You know what I mean? Hit the like button, comment, do what you usually do, and let's get into it. So he says that he's gonna sell Rockefeller, and Cam and Mace have already bought it. It was a 5-minute clip. He said a lot. He's still talking about the CEO talk. He's talking about Jay-Z's chicanery. I know we watched it. So say the rap stop, you hear what Dame has to say about the legal proceedings. Speaking boss, you know, where are you at with that?
Look, this is the thing about Dame. He's always going to pull that same card. Like regular dudes can't understand the boss talk, can't understand how bosses go about their business and how the rules change when it's bosses against bosses. Look, man, it's time to move on. It's time to, just lay this to rest, bro. The thing that I disliked so much about this new clip, yet another clip of him talking about the same topic and talking about Jay and how Jay has wronged him over the years and whatever, is that he was, I don't know, I feel like he was being kind of coy about shit. You know what I mean? I know the word coy has a certain connotation, but like if the shoe fits, like he's like, when he was asked a question about, selling the shares, he was like, well, it may have already happened and Cam and Mace may already have. Like, bro, just give us a straight answer, either yes or no. You know what I mean? It's a simple question. It's a yes or no question, right? Has it been sold? Who owns the shares now? Super simple question. This whole beating around the bush about shit, like that shit is corny to be. Like, just what I mean, say it with your chest. Whatever is the truth, whatever it is that has transpired, say that shit with your chest and just don't say it at all, bro. And find something new to talk about, bro, for real.
Ooh, stand off the top rope. Man, I'm about to say, Mace, I'm usually used to going to Mace right after to get some kind of balance and levity. Mace, hurry up and pull up, bro. Diddy the balance. Oh my God.
Man, I may be able to lend some help with this one.
Do you speak boss? Maybe I don't think Sid speaks boss.
All right, so
it's quite possible, but
I'm not saying necessarily I speak boss. It's more of I just get it. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? I understand Dame. I understand what Dame's going through. This is Dame's rollout. Like we accept every other rollout that goes on in the street, bro. You know what I'm saying? Every other rollout. Why are we not accepting?
I only hold allegiances to the truth.
Why are we not holding the same thing though? This is first of all, this might be the happiest I've seen Dame like in a long time. Like that conversation, he was jovial, he was happy. I go back to saying this is all about the Jay-Z feud, bro. When I said with Dame would rather sell his arm than to sell those masters because it's just about letting Jay-Z win. Like when Jay-Z blocked the sale, it wasn't I'm gonna block the sale so that you can hold on to it. It was I'm gonna block the sale so you don't sell it to nobody I don't want you to sell it to. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to hold on to it. Only people that could buy it is someone that me and Big sanctioned, which I think was deployed because that is the missing link from Jay-Z. That is the seventh Dragon Ball. Shout out to the homie Toriyama, RIP. You know what I'm saying? That is the seventh Dragon Ball missing for making that final wish of breaking making that thing whole again. It's the last shard, you know what I'm saying, of a broken glass. So I really think this is all just a ploy to basically generate views. He has a network, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why would it be wrong for him to get people to come to the network? We've tuned in the Dame more now than we probably have in a long time. We haven't been cooking him as much as we have over the last few, you know what I'm saying? Because it seems like at this point he's in a point of leverage. We haven't seen Dame with leverage in a long time. It's kind of cool to see him, be the slight bully again. I love it. It reminds me of the old Rockefeller era. So I'm here for it, man. I think it's what it is.
I mean, but does he have leverage though?
Yeah.
When you think about it, he's in a situation he's not liquid enough, to have the money to pay a debt. Like we talk, like he done found a way to manipulate this whole situation to make it about Jay-Z and Biggs. When the fact of the matter is, we're only talking about this scenario because he was ordered by the court to sell his share of Rockefeller in order to pay a debt. He's not selling it to cash out. He's selling it because he's broke on a rich nigga level. Let's be clear. When I say he's broke, we're not talking about us.
This is
we're
like
not in his tax bracket.
It's like hammer broke.
It's more
hammer
cash
broke.
Out.
A new phrase coined by Sincere Raps now. He's hammer broke.
Nah, it's cashed out more if that's your only bargaining chip. You know what I'm saying? First of all, the shit ain't worth no $800,000, bro. If you
my
think
nigga, but again, I don't care what it costs. He don't have the money to pay a debt, so he has to sell Rockefeller.
Okay,
even if he sells it for 5 M's, whatever the number is. What in his current position, in his current predicament, he doesn't have the liquidity to pay the debt without selling his most valuable asset. And in the midst of that situation, he's finding a way to use the fact that a lot of people do not speak boss and to spin it like Jay is bullying this alongside Biggs into a situation where they can buy Rockefeller and take it from Dame. When in all actuality, had he sold it to Jay-Z when Jay wanted to buy it, this wouldn't even be a story because the court case, whatever he got going on with the court, has nothing to do with Jay-Z trying to buy it. That's a whole other situation. He done conflated the two things to make it seem like there's some kind of like conspiracy to steal Rockefeller, his share of Rockefeller from him, when the real story is he has to sell it in order to pay a debt.
So check it out.
Jay don't got nothing to do with that.
It's more about how much the shit is worth. The lien he has to pay back is what, like 800 racks, right?
$823,000.
Perfect. Let's say the actual fucking all the shit he owns is worth 5 to 10 joints. You know what I'm saying? I could sell a little piece of it just to get the portion to pay them niggas back and still hold the piece and still have this shit swinging over Jay-Z's head paws like the sword of Damocles, bro. Like that, the whole thing is pure vitriol. It's not about selling. It's not about money. It's about, I feel wrong by this guy, and by the grace of anything.
But what does he have to do with the fact that you don't have enough money to pay your debts? Why are we talking about Jay when he gotta sell?
It's because it's only a portion you gotta sell. You don't gotta sell every.
Well, what does Jay-Z have to do with him being broke? Let
me chime in here.
Yeah.
This is where the disconnect happens for me. This is where I don't follow him, because for somebody who claims to speak so much boss talk, it feels very emotional. You know what I mean? And bosses are not supposed to, if they feel emotion, they're not supposed to show emotion. They're not supposed to move off emotion, right? And that's always been his whole persona, right? But this particular situation feels very emotional, steeped in emotion even. And so when I watched the clip, it felt to me like he was trying to spin it in a way or have the audience come to his defense, because he's spinning it in a way that makes Jay look like the bad guy with no honor, no code. You know what I mean? He was talking about how like he was using the company's own money to sue him, like it's just his company. And the way I look at it, it's like, if it was allowed, if that kind of move was, if there was no rules against it, then it should just it goes. You know what I mean? There was nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? And so like he's trying to spin it in a way where like he wants us to look at Jay like he has no ethics, no morals, and no code. But Jay is really the boss in this situation. He took advantage of bylaws that allowed him to do what he wanted and was supposed to do. And Dame came out on the wrong side of it. You know what I mean? And so like that's the part that I really have trouble with, is Dame trying to speak like a boss, but coming off as emotional and hurt by a personal relationship. And those two things don't mix.
I dig what you're saying, but my comeback would be this: when we hear the word the term emotional, we equate it to being kind of bitch made. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, stop being emotional.
Not
But if you look at
necessarily.
it, I mean, in actuality, if I say stop being emotional, you think I'm saying that as in terms of a manly thing, bro? I'm saying stop, lower it down, my nigga. I'm telling you, turn down the jointness, basically. You know what I'm talking about, my nigga. But Dame's always been emotional. You don't go checking niggas for chains, not being emotional. You don't go to jewelers and say, I'm not giving you back your jewelry because it's my pendant. He's always been emotional.
That's exactly my point, though. That's exactly my point, though. Like,
my point is, at the pinnacle of his boss talk, he was always emotional.
People will spin the word emotion into what you were just saying, but that's not always the case. That's what I said. Emotion doesn't always mean feminine. You know what I mean? Emotion.
When we use the word emotional, that's what we use it for, Sin. When we use the word emotional, that's kind of.
But you just used it for Dame when he flies off the handle and starts barking at people. That's also emotional.
No, because you're saying it's not boss talk to be emotional.
Well, I don't think it's
even at the top of his boss talk.
For the sake of clarity, I think that sometimes emotional.
Real bosses don't need to fucking bark on people like that. That's my whole problem with him.
My thing is with the whole emotional angle. I think it's also very situational. Depending on the vitriol of the exchange, emotional can be bitch made, or it could just be like, "Yo, chill out." I just think
angry. Yeah,
it can be angry. You know what I'm saying? Even with the chat, sometimes they calling me a bitch when they say I'm being emotional. Sometimes it just means I'm doing too much. I'm being emotional. It varies. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But I could see the argument. You know, because like Dame does spin it and he frames Jay-Z as the bad guy because Dame is not stupid. Dame he didn't get as far as he got just by luck or happenstance. He knows that the public perception of Jay-Z for the most part is either super positive fuck Dame or super negative we're team Dame, right? And then you got situations like when we all went to the Book of Hope and he essentially erased Dame from the history of Rockefeller. There was no Dame Dash to be found anywhere in that exhibit. And I found that to be very corny. You know what I'm saying? Like for Jay-Z to go that's why when he says he didn't know anything about it. Like so who made the call to make sure that there was no Dame? Because that's a very personal thing to do, to make sure that his face is not anywhere. When not to say like Jay was the talent. His talent is what got him to the dance. But Dame behind the scenes before shit went sour played an integral role in what Rockefeller was visually and what it meant to us during that time. So for Jay to be like, "Oh, I didn't know anything about it," it's like, bro, you did.
Cap.
You did, bro. Because if you didn't know that means that who got the orders to make sure Dame wasn't there? So when he does these type of things and Dame says Jay did this and Jay did that, maybe both things are true. Maybe Dame is overly emotional about this shit. And maybe Jay-Z is a bad guy when it comes to Dame Dash, because for you to do that and for you to erase Dame, or maybe Jay-Z's just so hurt, because again, some people move in a different type of way. When Dame was mouthing off in the early aughts about certain things, and he dropped that line about making another holes, you know what I'm saying? That he might have felt the way like if a nigga keeps saying you made me, I might feel some type of way too, because we can't keep giving Jay the pop out and not giving Dame the pop out. Because again, we do the rap roundtable and motherfuckers keep saying, oh, Sin made Diddy. Diddy gonna feel some type of way. And if Sin do an interview with like Vlad or one of these niggas, he said, like Diddy wouldn't be here without me. The whole reason Diddy a podcast is because I made him the best. I said he was a misogynist. I said he wasn't this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Diddy might be like, you know what? I'm litter than Sin right now. So anything I do from this point forward don't involve Sin. Sin don't even exist. You know what I mean? I just think that this thing I don't think they were ever friends. It really makes me feel like these guys never liked each other, bro.
Well,
that's what I'm starting to feel like.
No, what I think
it's the opposite,
is that
Joe,
Dame. No. I think Dame thought the friendship was stronger than it really was, and Dame really was looking at him like this is a business partner who I'm cool with. But at any moment, if the shit goes down, if it's me or him, it's gonna be him. It's not gonna be me. And this is why I say that. And again, I don't mean emotional in Dini's connotation. I just mean that Dame is like legitimately hurt because he keeps talking about Jay and recollecting all of these events as if Jay was supposed to have done the right thing and never did the right thing. That's how I always hear the account of what he's saying.
And
so
Dame always speaks in that voice of not being honorable. He uses that word often when he does these interviews, and he feels like Jay hasn't been honorable in this whole situation. Exactly. And I can see that because if we went through the wars together, we built Rockefeller together.
Yeah.
Even if you thought I was a dickhead, why was it so easy for the people on the other side to say get him out the way?
To be honest,
that's something I don't agree with.
I always thought it was like this. I always thought it was like this. I always felt, and my heart of hearts, there was just as many doors as Dame opened, he closed a lot of doors too. You know what I'm saying? The Hov was at the time he's trying to open a lot of doors, and it's like if you don't like the way a meeting goes, you're gonna fuck up the whole opportunity for the whole game because you don't like the way it goes. You remember this shit with Kevin Lyles in the jacket? Why the fuck these niggas got Rockefeller Def Jam jackets? Like shit like that. That could have been a conversation where that shit could have been flipped around, but Dame gonna smoke you. Dame gonna put the emotionality on it and really get it hot. You know what I'm saying? Get the block hot. And I think that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And Jay was like, I can't get in these rooms. I can't maneuver the way, like in a room full of vultures. You know what I'm saying? If you're being the vulture per se, you know what I'm saying? As far as on the situation like that.
I guess let's talk about it. We're talking very micro. Let's talk on a no. We're talking very macro. Let's talk about it on a micro level. Let's take it behind the curtains of the rap round table. And I think we could solve it like this. Let's say a year and a half ago, I was out here Damon and making shit hot with some of the listeners when we first encountered some of those Nas fans who was attacking us. And a lot of times I used to overdo it. And Sid would tell me like, yo, bro, you gotta chill.
Reel it back.
So maybe that's what was happening behind it. Maybe there was times when Hov was telling Dame, yo, you gotta chill. And in some cases, I listen to him. You know, now I'll be like, all right, they be saying all kinds of shit to me. And I don't fight no more. I take it because it's like, you know what, it's part of the game. Whereas
there's something happening on Twitter right now that we're just like, let the people say what they're gonna say. Like,
right.
You know, we can do about it at this point.
But it's like your homies, the people who you in business with, in cahoots with, would tell you, yo, chill. You can either be like, you know what? Maybe this nigga's right. Or you could be like Dame and say, nah, it gotta be like this every time. And at a certain point, people will come and say, this dude is hard-headed. He don't listen. He's fucking up the money. Yeah. And once you start fucking up the money, friendship can't always survive niggas fucking the bread up. I don't know.
Right.
Or we just,
like,
I don't, you know what I mean?
It's a speculation, but it's a valid speculation. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, and then I mean, there's a lot of relationships, both professional and personal, that just break. You know what I mean? They end because of differences in viewpoints, creative differences. You know what I mean? Like, or just outgrowing somebody, right? And like, you know, we spoke about this in the last session we did. You know what I mean? It's possible they just outgrown each other. But Dame, or it, you know, I'll put it like this: it's possible Jay outgrew Dame and Dame outgrew Jay. You know,
that's kind of what Steve Stout was saying. He was saying that at the end of the day, we could thug our way through. We could thug our way to that first Def Jam distribution deal where they cashed out something crazy. But at a certain point, if you hit that ceiling of thugging your way through, you got to make a decision. Are we gonna still thug our way through and eventually get spit out and become a has-been, or we gonna make some adjustments to the approach, become true businessmen, and play this game? Jay played the game. Dame wanted to Dame his way to billions, and I don't think you was ever gonna be able to Dame your way to billions. You know what I mean? There's just that room, that particular section of the club, it's not for Dame. I'm sorry.
And let's be 100% perfectly real about this. Jay is a billionaire. You never get to that level by always doing the quote unquote right thing or the quote unquote honorable thing. Many people are going to feel slighted and cheated along the way to this person building his billions. You know what I mean? And Dame just happens to be one of those people who always has a microphone in his face. So he's always going to tell the story of how he was wrong.
That's a fact. And we got a super chat here. Macito in the building. What's good, Mace?
What's going on, yeah?
Jermaine L. Johnson with a super chat. He says Dame is taking an L, but he's trying to spin a narrative as if somehow Jay is taking an L. we know that Jay is good no matter what happens in this, and that's another reality. That's why I'm like, why is this about Jay, bro? The court said you gotta pay. Like it don't got nothing to do with Jay-Z. But I have a question for y'all. Mesito, you'll come in here, we won't circle back, but we'll just keep going forward. Is it time for Dame to maybe rebrand? Like after this whole thing happens, like maybe stop talking about Jay, create the next successful endeavor. Is it time for a rebrand? Mace, you're pulling in now. Let us know. What do you think?
It's time.
I don't think you heard what I said. Sincere, what do you think? Is it time for a rebrand?
Listen, it's time. It is time. I said it on the top of the segment. I'm gonna double down on the bottom of the segment. It's time, bro. Like if you're not getting any traction, if you're not getting any views or any attention for talking about any other thing, anything else other than shit that transpired 20 years ago, come on, it's time. It's time. Find something else to talk about. Find something else to gain traction with.
I see the vision. Macito, you on deck now? You fully functional?
Yeah, I'm good, man. The sound is on, man. I'm straight.
Bet. Well, we got a question. Like, is it time for Dame Dash to rebrand after all of this talk with what he owes, selling Rockefeller, Cam, Mace, etc.? Is it time to rebrand and change the look or the perception of Dame Dash?
I'd argue that Dame thinks he's already rebranding. Does he? Like, he's in a difficult position, right? Pause. He's a footnote in somebody else's story right now on a major level, right? Like he's a part of that Jay-Z story. You know what I mean? So even though he was a boss and he was the man that he was, because we know Dame is one of those guys, one of the top executives in rap history. We got to give him that. But at this point, it's like an Oskino and a Spark. You're gonna get them Jay-Z questions. You know what I mean? And because of the issues between them, and how bad he's apparently doing. I'm not trying to shit on Dame because I know a lot of people say we talk crazy about Dame, so I'm trying to be careful with the way I describe him. But the optics of what he's going through right now makes the issues with Jay-Z an even bigger thing, right? I think the more successes that come Dame's way, he'll be able to rebrand himself without even having to rebrand himself. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it's hard to just say I'm gonna rebrand, right? Because if Dame comes to the rap roundtable, we're gonna ask him about Jay-Z, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. If he say I don't want to answer no Jay questions, we might rethink the interview. Let's be honest.
And that's the shit that confused me, Mace. Say right there. Mm-hmm. He went on Math podcast and did that shit only then to turn around and have Math ask him about Jay-Z on his platform. Like, come on, bro. Go ahead.
It's weird, bro. It's weird. You know what I mean? So, and that's what it seems like he's doing. It seems like he knows that Jay-Z shit is viral, so it's on my network. But so it's like the whole America knew, because I've been following since he first started. Because when he first started the network, he was doing like therapy sessions on this shit. Like it wasn't all Jay-Z all the time. But now every time he posts a new video, it's a headline of a Jay-Z, something happening with Jay-Z, and that's what his whole network is about, bro. His whole like YouTube channel. So
that cloud is a hell of a drug, bro. And we've seen it. We've seen it.
We've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So does Dame need a rebrand? Sure, but I think Dame needs some success more. And I'm not saying Dame is unsuccessful. We're observers of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure Dame's unsuccessful is doing better than all of us. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not trying to talk crazy about him, but on the level that he appeared to once be, it looks like he fell off. Well, you know what I'm saying?
That's what Sin coined a phrase that we're gonna use going forward. It's called camera broke. Because when we say broke, we ain't talking about the common man. We talking about rich people shit. So it's,
I like that.
Officially, it's called camera broke. Diddy, rebrand or not?
Mute. You muted.
Get it, bro.
Shit fucking up. Oh, there we go. My shit bugging out. This is the rebrand. Mace called it. This is the rollout. This is everything to get you to come to my network. Only thing I'm mad about is they got my nigga looking like a basketball wife, where they only really talk about him in the aspect of talking about somebody else. You get what I'm saying? And on the opposite end, there's no one asking Jay any questions about Dame. You get what I'm saying? So I can see that. I used the word jilted lover last time we talked about it, but I can see that, bro. Like that shit must fuck with you to be a part of a conglomerate, knowing that you was one of the major figureheads to kind of be a nigga just standing on the outside, having to sell your shares. It's a crazy fall from grace, my nigga. And we're watching it. We watched it. It ain't like fall from grace 50, 60 years ago. We just had to speculate. Like we were literally watching everything, bro. Like the social media age has ramped everything up and made everything like right there. So it's I can only imagine. I've never gone through some shit. We've never gone through some shit like this. This is some unprecedented shit, man. If you asked me 20 years ago, before this shit happened, would this be this in the height of the Rockefeller shit when niggas was dancing with Armadale? Everything looked perfect, bro. So this shit fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the best rap crews of all time.
I think it's a situation where he has to find an artist and break him. You know, we got all this news coming out about like him not doing good business with Currency, and there was another act who kind of had similar allegations about him being funny with the money. It's like I think at the end of the day, when you put all the cards on the table, he has to find the artist, break the artist, and then the artist has to do well. I think that's the only way the narrative change around his name. Because the thing is, like Mace said, he has to, of course. Because it's like what Mace said, until you can create new questions for interviewers to ask, they're gonna ask about Jay-Z. And that's a tough spot to be in. You know what I mean? There was a question about if Irv can rebrand, then so can Dame. Then Ric Flair saying something about like we heard like maybe a few months back that Irv got like a little bag situation and a film situation and all of that. Whatever. Irv is still, to the public's eye, not very reputable after his Drink Champs fiasco and talking about Ashanti multiple times, talking about taking ecstasy, all sweaty and looking crazy. So he cashed out. He has a new opportunity. That's great. But until said opportunity creates a successful endeavor, whether it's a successful film or he turns that money into more money, the rebrand isn't complete yet. So to answer your question, Irv ain't rebrand yet. He's in a position to rebrand, but the rebrand ain't actually happened yet. We got a couple of super chats to get to here. We have Andre Miller with a super chat. He says Dame only got mixed race kids but talk pro black. Listen.
Hey,
that's not. We not. Hey, you know what I mean? That's not what we do here. You know what I mean?
Not get us demonetized.
Word.
Listen,
Jermaine L. Johnson with a super chat says Dame has the power to set the tone to not address or be asked any Jay questions, the same way that everybody knows not to ask Jay any Dame questions. But Jay has a lot more answers to different questions. Go ahead.
That's it.
So many other things going on to talk about. He could easily go to fucking Gayle King and be like, "Hey, listen," and honestly, let's be real. Gayle wouldn't even go into that interview and be like, "Yo, can I ask you about Dame?" She's not gonna care either. You know what I mean? He has so many other endeavors to talk about. Dame, on the other hand, not so much. So,
and my thing is this, right? And I know y'all got to cook up a minute on this, so I don't want to drag the topic out too crazy. But my thing with Dame is that he's not contrite in anything, bro. Like whether it's that Currency and Big Crit in Wiz Khalifa situation, or whether it was the Rockefeller situation, I'm tired of Dame telling me it was the other nigga's fault. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what Dame did. Dame lost a lot of shit to not be wrong in nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think a part of the rebrand is being more honest, even if it's on some fake shit, right? Kanye came out and gave his fake apology. Now he number one, right? Just come out and be like, yo, in a couple things I was wrong. People like to see that. You know what I'm saying? People like, and listen, shouts to my man who was who was that with the interracial question. That was a bit steep. You know what I mean? I don't want a black man having to be sorry in front of cameras, bro. I understand, but it's like it's just between if he really want the rebrand, if he really want this to work, he has to. Because even Irv go on interviews and say, yeah, 50 got us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you kind of got to be contrite a little bit. People got to see you suffer the defeat in order to let you win again. But Dame won't accept it.
And Free, you're absolutely right. He needs a successful venture, not an artist. I just frame it as an artist because a lot of his downfall, he's attached to an artist. Then you have artists saying that he's not the businessman or doing right in the way that he will tell people on interviews. So the best way to change that perception is to get an artist, but you're absolutely right. So one of the America New, whatever it is, a reality show, something that creates a bag that he doesn't blow. You're absolutely right. He needs to create that. But we got to move on. You know, we again, hit the like button, follow us on social media, roundtablemerch.com. Get you one of these. Hoodies are on the way. Shout out to Miss LB again for giving us that dope idea. And we got a BSF artist coming on later on in the pod. So make sure y'all lock in.
Tap in.
The next topic, you know, I know y'all here because y'all want us to talk about that new Ransom that dropped on Friday. Lavish Misery, Ransom and Harry Fraud at it again. You know, doing what they do. Now, I don't know if it's again. Is this a first collaborative project where like fully produced by Harry Fraud?
I feel like it's the first whole project. Yeah.
Chat up and roll. Let us know. You know, we're not experts. You know what I mean?
I know Benny's. I mean, we know Benny's done stuff with Harry Fraud. Somebody else too, but I don't think Ransom. I think this is the first one.
I swore there was a whole tape.
It's possible, but either way, Lavish Misery is out right now.
I am.
Yeah, we gonna keep talking, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Lavish Misery is out right now. Sincere Rap Slime, you got to tap in with that project. Quick work, 8 minutes. 8 tracks, about 21 minutes. What are your takeaways from that?
Another dope project from Ransom, man, and another dope project from Harry Fraud too. To be honest, well, look, I'm gonna be completely honest. I haven't tapped into too many Harry Fraud projects since the Benny joint, and then I tapped into one other one that I wasn't too big of a fan of. I can't remember who it was, but Ransom, I've been locked in with Ransom since, you know, he started dropping the Director's Cut series. And he again does not disappoint, man. The bar work is there. What I appreciate here is sort of the freshness or newness that Harry Fraud seems to provide Ransom with on this project as far as a hashtag soundscape. You know what I mean? Like we know Ransom for working with, you know what I mean, the Nicholas Craven. We know for Ransom for working with a slew of other producers. You know what I mean? I went into this project thinking, how is Ransom gonna sound against this Harry Fraud production? And I'm super impressed. I'm not disappointed in the least. The intro was fire, Immaculate Conception. It had like sort of a West Indian kind of calypso kind of vibe. You know what I mean? The second joint, Chain of Command. Listen, if the Source hip hop quotables was still a thing, that second verse on this would absolutely be hip hop quotable for the month, if not the whole year. That verse was crazy, where he incorporated so many different album titles, not just from rap, but also from other genres. He incorporated some Prince album titles in there. The wordplay in it was crazy, the way he weaved in all these album titles into the verse. Immaculate. Matchstick Men, beat was fire, bars were fire, not disappointed. Live from the Roxy, that was the single. We had already talked about it previously. If Chain of Command, after Chain of Command, The Losses might be my other favorite song on this project, because I feel like it's a different side to Ransom. Like Ransom is great at talking about like life ills and giving you wisdom, but he's not often as celebratory as he is on The Losses. I think production brought that out of him. He at the end of the song, he switched up the flow in a way that I hadn't heard from Ransom before. You know what I mean? And also the wordplay again. You know what I mean? He said, if you force us to leave this island, then you're gonna meet Jamaica. You know what I mean? Your maker, Jamaica. The wordplay is impeccable. You know what I mean? The last song was And One, also phenomenal. Fire. You know what I mean? Heat rock. If there is a low light on this project, it would be Wilson Fisk. Not my favorite production, not my favorite song. But all in all, another fire project from Ransom. Keep doing what you're doing, Ransom. I don't know what else to say. Ransom is on a crazy run right now. Keep doing your thing, man. Salute to you.
That's a fact. I guess I'll jump in here. You know, I was gonna go to Diddy, but I guess his internet connection ain't connected how it's supposed to connect. You know, I guess before we get into the project, the thing that I want to talk about is this the new normal? Because I think there was a project, and give me a second, I'm gonna pull a Diddy and pull up some projects that he's put out recently. You know what I mean? Whereas like these joints are relatively short. You know, it's like the last project. I would think, what was it? Spare the Rob?
Spoil the Child.
Spoil the Child. Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Forgive me, because I want to pull it up there, but I don't have it. But the whole thing is like these short projects. Is this it now? Like, or should we expect? Because I know he had a Twitter exchange with the homie Kill about there's a business model involved in and why these projects are short or why the songs are short. And his last couple of drops have been, the last one before this, I believe, was like 5 tracks. Now this one is 8 tracks. Like, is this the new normal still? Like, should we start preparing ourselves for shorter, high quality, high concentrated releases? Pause from Ransom.
Look, so the other thing I wanted to point out, and I'm going to circle back to your point, but I also wanted to point out Ransom's impeccable hooks on this project as well, right? Hook on the Lost in the Fire and One Fire. I think Ransom has the ability of putting together full songs, even possibly, dare I say, 3-verse songs. I think the landscape is in a place where it's not really feasible for certain artists in a certain space to really devote that much time and effort into putting together longer projects. You know what I mean? Now, look, I'm going to keep it 100% honest. I would love a longer, fuller Ransom project. You know what I mean? 12 songs, 3 verses on the song. The hooks are solid. You know what I mean? We know your hook work is impeccable. But I think in the space that Ransom is in, and we see this with everybody. We see this with Boldy. We see this with Conway. You know, that project he put out with Conductor Williams was like 7 joints. 7 fire joints, but it was only 7 joints. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think the space, if you're an indie artist, if you're coming out of pocket for, you know, the studio, you know, paying hourly, you know what I mean, mixing, mastering, all of that stuff, it's a little difficult for artists in this space to expect like an It Was Then, a life after death out of them. You know what I mean?
So here's why
artists in that space.
Here's why I asked the question. Director's Cut 4, 10 tracks, 33 minutes, right? Then we go, that was around July last year. Spare the Rod, Spoil the Child. September, 5 songs, 14 minutes. Now we have this project here, 8 songs, 21 minutes. It's like, is Ransom trying to gear us up for a new listening habit? Is this what it is? Are we no longer getting the full length LP from a rant? You know,
look,
I'd argue that this, for an artist like Ransom and for the artists of the caliber of artists that do these type of projects, because Ransom's not the only one who drops more often in their shorter projects. I think this serves as the new mixtape scene for a lot of artists. You know what I mean? Where like you might get a mixtape with 21 songs, but 5 of them be for 1 verse freestyles. A couple of them might be a song that they thinking about putting on a new project. So the mixtape scene has all but disappeared in the game. But when you think about if this was 10, 15, 20 years ago, these would be the artists that was on every K Slade, that was on every Big Mike, that was on every Clue. So I feel like Ransom, who is an artist who came from that specific type of era where he could just feed the streets with mixtapes, he's figured out a way to do that while making money from it on record. You know what I'm saying? Not just YouTube's or SoundCloud. So that's the way I look at it, that specific question, Joe. But you got it, Cook.
Okay, all right. Well, if that's what it is, I guess we gotta accept that. I'm not here to complain, but I'm just noticing the last 3 projects in particular have been relatively short, and he's took time on Twitter to explain why it is what it is. So I'm wondering if we're never gonna get that from a Ransom again. But the project for me, it was good. Like some people came on when we did the lunch hour Friday and they was talking about album of the year, classic, woo woo woo. I don't think it was that. I think this is just another good release from Ransom. Like I wasn't overtly blown away. This wasn't a 10 out of 10 for me. This is probably like a cool 7. High level lyricism, good beats from Harry Fraud. I think I've heard better from Ransom, but I look at this project as more of a placeholder for something more grandiose down the road. I don't know if it's because he's been spoiling us with so much high level shit to where it's, you know, it's hard to really compare anymore because he's that good. Again, our number one lyricist of last year. Don't get it twisted. I'm just looking at it as selfishly. I kind of tipped my hand with the first question. I'm like, if this is it and it's just this quick shit, I want more. You know, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? The bars are there. I definitely love how he was using throughout the album the references of our favorite people to talk about on this pod, Nas and Jay-Z, with the little sprinkles of references throughout the metaphor. You was like, again, like this guy, when it comes to lyrics, if you got a problem with us saying he's the best lyricist in the world, like then you're not listening. If you're complaining about his voice, we not the rap voice table. This is the rap round table. We talking about bars. And if we're talking about bars, there's nobody better than him. The setups, you know, some guys that they have their metaphors like a Lil Wayne, where there's no real setup, it's just some random ass metaphor. He lays foundations. He tells stories within the bars to where when the punchline hit, the scheme, like thank you, Diddy, it just all makes sense. So it's like for me, the songs are cool. I was expecting a little more live at the Roxy vibe from the project. To me, that song is a standout. I love it. I love everything about it. But for me, this is just standard Ransom fare, and a 7 for him is still like a 10 for a bunch of other niggas out here. I'm just not blown away by it. I'll go back to it a few times, but I don't love it how I've loved previous work from Ransom in the past. Don't kill me, y'all. You know what I mean? Dini, what do you think about this project?
I love it.
Okay. Hey, you know,
I'm him. Easily the best Ransom album as far as musicality. Easily. And that's not a strike down. That's just more of like it's just awesome when like one of your favorite barsmiths say, you know what, let me actually make like actual just records. You get what I'm saying? Like when I listen to Ransom, I feel like he's going in the booth to like mind work. You get what I'm saying? It's to make you think. It's to take you on a story, take you on that stroll, that journey, that hustler's life. But I feel like there was a couple of joints on this that had a little, not dance like in the club, not club, but some head nodders, bro. Like,
well, I mean, it's Harry Fraud. Harry Fraud, that's his thing. He gonna give you that bot pause. But it's like, but for me, it was just like, this is cool. I'm cool. I'm. It's not whack. It's a good project. We've heard Ransom at such a higher level in the past with Craven. Ironically, with Craven, that I'm like, I've heard better from Rand.
So here's why I say Ransom dialed the bars back maybe like a 0.5 to give you maybe like 3 more points of musicality, bro. Like sonically, this is the best sounding sonically Rand I've heard. You get what I'm saying? The bars will never waver from Ransom. Like just get over that, everyone. If you have any doubts about that man's pen game, shoot yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be immaculate. It's been immaculate for 20 plus years. What are we talking about? I'm talking specifically sonic ability. Like when I listen to Rand, I usually be like, you know what? I want to be barred to death. With this album, there's joints, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be in motion. I want to hear these couple of... The Eye of the Storm for me, there's a Jeremy Lin bar in there, bro.
Oh, yeah, that Lin bar was stupid.
I don't want to repeat it all, but, bro, like, impeccable. Just... When the sun, it's you know what this is to me. This Harry Fraud is nutmeg, bro. Like you know, you got a nice little meal. You're like, what is this shit missing? Add nutmeg. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to men from how I'm fucking King of the Hill. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit of nutmeg. I always say when you get the actual skill of the artist, the rapping ability, and you mix the sonics with it too. A lot of we never get the beautiful combination of that anymore. Nas did a great job with it with Hit Boy. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to get the immaculate bars and the immaculate sonics together. The beats were sharp and crisp. Ransom's flow was more alive. Like this, I love this project, bro. And I've been the one to say, give me the 20-minute project, bro. Give me the 2 verses. I'm good with that, bro. Like, don't make the 2-hour movie 2 hours and 15 minutes and fuck up the whole movie, bro. If it's 2 hours and it's popping, let it pop, bro. You know what I'm saying? If it's an hour and a half movie and it's wavy, Let it rock. Don't add an extra 20 minutes, 30 minutes, try to make it a 2-hour movie and wanna don't Zack Snyder us, bro. We don't need it. You get what I'm saying?
So what I'm hearing is 2 chef's kisses from Dini and Sin, and
fucking
1
with
is
it.
good from Job. All right. I see the vision. Here. Mesito, we know this is not your lane, but you try to be as balanced as possible when it comes to this. You heard the project. What are your keynote takeaways?
That's a fact. I got to listen to some Rand sometime this weekend because this was Biggie weekend. We got to remember.
Yeah.
March 9th weekend. So it was a lot of Biggie gameplay this weekend. But I knew I had some homework, so I rocked with the Ransom. Listen, I'm right on board with the guys. Like, not like this is high level rap. I'm a person who, you know, I'm a fan of Craven, you know what I mean? So I'm a fan of Harry Fraud. So to me, he sounds better over Harry Fraud than Craven. So
okay,
like you, Jarv, when I had my notes, I wrote standard Ransom fair, just like you. I think, listen, Ransom is Embiid this season, right? Like his regular game is 35, 12, a few blocks, couple of assists, you know what I mean? Perfect from the free throw line. Like this is Ransom. I don't think Ransom impressed me more than he regularly does on this project. Like he's rhyming at a super high level. Sin, I'm right with you. Chain of Command is incredible. Matchstick Men is probably, both of those are on my song of the year list already. Ransom, like I get a lot of people, they like to pick at his rap style. They like to say, why does he rap like that, this, that, and the third. But at the very least, can we admit that Ransom has the best pen in the game right now? Like, just the pen. Just listen to the lyrics, y'all. Like, the pen is immaculate. And to me, the style is immaculate as well. It's like, it's so perfect that I can see why it gets on some people's nerve. Because, you know what I mean? The voice, the delivery, the flow, everything about him is 10 out of 10 right now. I'm being honest. So I get where people, might get sick of Ransom because it's perfect, but just the pen, bro, the pen. Best sports references since Fab in his prime. You know what I mean? Just like I also noticed there was a lot of Jay-Z and Nas in here, Joe. I noticed that too. I was like, is this a thing? Is he calling these niggas out like subliminally? What's going on here? But
no, it seemed like he's not trying to. He not compete, because remember there was a few times where it seemed like he was specifically trying to compete with Nas.
Right.
It seemed like now, like the way I took it listening, is like he definitely bent the knee to the Shoguns. He's like, you know what, I'm never gonna be these guys, but I could be number 3. You know what I mean? That's the way I was taking that, listening to the project.
I it was just a lot of times the name mentioned. Even when you give props, niggas get mad when you mention their name too much. Didn't Rakim get mad at Nas about writing a biography about him or some shit? But
the UBA.
Remember that? Rakim was tight, bro. He was mad for like a decade off of that shit, bro. You know what I mean? So he might be careful, Rand. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't say like this album is super, super crazy. Ransom did his thing. I'm a fraud. I feel like I say this every other episode. Harry Fraud is my guy, bro. So, you know what I mean? I'm not out here jumping out the window with some album of the year shit. You know what I mean? But Ransom, listen, a regular Ransom album right now is like 8.5 to me. So
right.
I'm impressed because I'm always impressed, but it's not like, if you listen to Ransom, guys, you're not gonna be like, this is the hardest shit I ever heard. Nah, but it's fire. You know what I mean? So 8.5 for me.
Like for me, like put it this way, there was no Scapegoats on this project. I mean, Scapegoats was like out of this world last year for me, and I felt like this project didn't have that high. Like it was fire. Like again, he's not capable of not making something that's fire at this point. He's in a different type of a zone. But like hitting certain heights, like there's no Scapegoats there. Like the joint that he did with 38 on this project, fire too, and 38 might have got him. Sin, you know what I mean? More and more I'm coming around to seeing things your way when it comes to 38. But I want those highs from Rand, because we know that's what he does. That's when we turn it on, it's just like, whoa, you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like this one was more like this summer's was gonna be a Ransom summer. Hold this right here. Here's this little appetizer. Enjoy this. But the real food is on the way. That's how I look at this project for me. But we got a few super chats to get to. Of course, we're never gonna ignore the supers. Mad Max with the super chat. He says, maybe they make it short projects because these underground guys don't have strong voices to keep the audience. So mass short projects keep your name out your buzz relevant with constant revenue. That's interesting take. I don't know if I agree or disagree.
Meet the Woo? That was like 9 songs, bro. What are you talking about?
Mad Max with another super chat says, I don't know what that idea means. I don't. What does that mean, Matt? How the source?
I don't know how the source.
I don't know how the source. Don't do hip hop quotables today. I don't understand. Oh, thank you. See, the young guy knows. Okay. Boy, what this idea you mean, boy? You know, you're young with the acronyms. I don't understand how the source don't do hip hop quotables today. All you gotta do is tweet them. Ram Project was weak to me. Boring beats. I'm gonna need. Wow, I'm gonna stop reading right there. Thank you for the super chat, Mad Max.
Come on,
Mad Max with an IUD.
Hey, Mad Max to the super chat says Dame ruined the gold mine with Jay and never rebounded. So all this proves is that Jay is the artist. A lot of y'all act like he's not. Okay. Ouch. He came for blood. And he started it off saying, RIP to my man's Akira Toriyama again. I'm still hurt.
Yeah.
Shout out to Toriyama. Everybody who grew up watching Dragon Ball. We know the vibes. We know the vibes. You know what I mean? But nevertheless,
bro, we got my life is hard, bro. It's a hard life. Shout out to Shout out to Show Enough. Let's cook.
Show Enough, the God. You know what I mean? The original Frieza. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? Because we know what the glow was about. But some news came out yesterday that from Hitmaker, somebody who's not loved by our audience, but we got to talk about it. He says that he did a song for Conway the Machine that was blocked by Puff Daddy. Pause. Because he wanted that record for his son. Mesito, when it did what he does best, the voice, and he found the records. There were 2 different versions, one with Conway, one without Conway. Mesito, his internet just bugged out. You know, oh, he's back. All right, Mesito, talk to us, man. What's this whole situation with Diddy? Diddy's in Griselda business now. When did this happen?
Listen, this record is like. Before it even dropped, I think it dropped in 2023. The record with what's his name? What's Diddy's son name? I'm for y'all.
King Combs.
King Combs.
We don't care. He's not good. No disrespect.
You know what I mean? No disrespect.
It's Diddy's son.
You know what I mean? To Diddy's son, but
Young Puff.
The record with Kanye had dropped. The Conway had dropped almost a year before, bro. Like I remember just catching that through the internet waves. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? Shouts to the Kali. You know they throw everything up on the web. So. You know, I didn't even know, and so I didn't put it together as far as Diddy blocking the record, but I did hear the rumblings about Diddy just took it. Now, there was rumblings on both sides, right? Because Conway's even spoken about this, you know, not about the record specifically, but Conway's spoken about this in interviews. Conway's always made it seem like there was paperwork that messed up the record. There was, you know, people, you know, that didn't sign papers, and I guess now we know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I know your boy Hitmaker is on like a Diddy rampage right now. Like you've been talking, you know, I didn't even know they had this much beef. But listen, man, like I was kind of upset about it because I thought this would have brought Conway to another level, if you ask me. A Boogie was already on the record. Jeremiah was on the record. I feel like I really remember Diddy shaking his shoulders to this in the club. This record would have dropped. You know what I mean?
It was fun.
His shoulders were moving. It was a record. You know what I mean? We just didn't take it serious because it was King Kong. So, you know, listen, man. So, shout out to Fab. You know what I mean? I guess Fab said, I'll go to the party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he wanted to party. Did he want to party with him? I guess, you know.
You know, I think Conway was maybe because at the time of that record, Diddy wasn't in the situation that he was in at that time. So it was political. You can't come out and say Puff blocked my song, right? Because you don't know who you're gonna offend. He has a relationship with the Jigga Man. He knows that Jigga has a relationship with Diddy. So it's like you gotta watch what you say, and it's, especially after the Funk Flex scenario, I guess he felt like. But now this comes out. So say the raps now. What you gotta say?
I mean, industry rule number 4080, especially when it comes to Puff. You know what I mean? Oof. You could double that. You know what I mean? What's the double of 4080? 9,060.
Yeah, because I wasn't doing that math. Thank you. I was like, oh shit, we gotta answer that.
But listen,
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
Puff is a shady dude. We've always known he's a shady dude. I mean, as far as the record goes, it uses the same total sample, right? Can't you see? It's that same
Right.
sample. You know what I mean? I think that might have been a decent look for Conway. You know what I mean? If that record would have popped off, it might have like given him a few more looks than what he's accustomed to from a different lane, from a different audience. Honestly, it probably would have done more. I kind of understand where Puff was coming from because it was a bad boy record. He wants to give it to his son. Nepotism is real. You know what I mean? But what did that record really do? Dude, are we checking for King Combs? No. The record would have been much better used for Conway, who's like a real artist, a real barsmith on his ascent. It might have, opened up some extra doors for him. It would have been better used for him. Are we checking for King Combs right now? No. So whatever. But I understand where he was coming from.
Why not?
You know what I mean?
Dini, you got some bail for the homie Diddy? Pause.
It's not even Bill, man. It's one of the most iconic hip hop beats. You know what I'm saying? I want my son to put some numbers on the board. You get what I'm saying? That's all it really was.
I mean, they tried it. But
the song, I still fuck with the song regardless as is, but there's no way he heard the Conway version, heard his son and said, you know what? Christian, this needs to be you. There's no way he did that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally just he's hooking up the fam. Me personally, he could have just chopped off Fab and just put them two niggas on the record. It would have did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It would have gave a little street vibe. The streets would have dug it. He pretty much used like Biggie's verse to kind of like model his verse after. That would have been fire. The video would have been crazy. You know what I'm saying? Lavish with the hood shit. Like it would have been fire. West Side Gun driving around and all types of shit. It would have been a fire atmosphere if they made that video together. They would have had a perfect atmosphere between the streets and the rich niggas. You know what I'm saying? Slap together, you can't lose, bro. Puff is a great opportunity, and I'm adding this the egregious shit he's done in the past.
And if I could just step in real quick, I think there's too much apprehension from certain people in the industry, in the scene. There's too much apprehension to have like the more hood artists cross over into their lane. You know what I mean? Like that's a very good point. You could have kept Conway on the record and then put King Combs on it, but does Conway have that look that Puff wants to convey to, you know what I mean, to listening audience?
I think so. I think so now. Now, yeah, he's a rich hustler nigga now. You know what I'm saying? Fur coat. He has that look now. That look probably would have worked a few years ago though. That makes sense.
How I look at it is the Can't You See sample. That's a classic Bad Boy song. We know that like the whole nepotism thing with King Combs. He's remade or redone. I should say, is it remake? He's remade a lot of previous Puff hits, or he's been on joints. I think he did the Crush on You joint. I know there was another one outside of that. So that's kind of his thing to do these remakes of his father's songs. He kind of cosplays as his dad on the songs because he rhymes like Puff did in the 90s. So I see the vision, but this is egregious because it's like
nobody's buying that though.
It's nobody. No, and the thing is that song went nowhere. Like again, like I don't like to like pile on. Like this year we try to not violate, but when it comes to King Combs, the artist, nobody's checking for this kid, bro.
It's not moving the needle
at all. Honestly, the star out of all his kids is the other one who played football at UCLA. I think is that Justin?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't. Didn't Justin try to rap too? Didn't it not work out? Like leave this rap shit alone. Like I know. Look. I know that rap is so nasty now that everybody feel like they could just like push their kids into rap because they had a career. We've seen a lot of it. We've seen Aubrey do it. We've seen Kanye do it. We've seen Master P do it. There's been so many parents who've said rap is so ass right now. You can do this shit and it'll work. But it's like when you gonna be when it's that bad, you gotta make a certain type of rap. Let's be clear. Let's put it on wax. When you making a certain type of bad rap, it has to have a certain kind of sound.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say nothing else. That's all I'm gonna say. It has to sound a certain type of way. But when you come in and you try to make shit that got a certain kind of vibe that relates to the niggas that are on this panel, if you cannot rap, you cannot delve into that sound. So to me, this is a flagrant 2 foul. Diddy, Paul's got to be ejected because we've talked about this guy Conway leveling himself up as an artist to try to get more listeners. So obviously he knows exactly what he needs to do as an artist, and the song is right there. He chooses the song, and then you block out one of the best rappers in the world for your scrub son. You basically you took out, to use a Knicks reference, you took Spreewell out the game to put in Rick Brunson. Are you kidding me?
Rick Brunson.
You took Kobe out the game to put in Tyronn Lue. What are you doing?
Damn it, Puff.
You took Biggie off the record and put on Lil Bow Wow.
Come on.
You took
Biggie off the record and put Mark Curry on, bro. Like five.
Chill. No, I got you. Who was the white boy that was on Bad Boy? I forgot his name, bro.
Yeah, I forgot too.
I remember the white boy.
MGK was on.
MGK. MGK's time. Somebody
was a chubby white dude, right?
Yeah, kind of
chubby. Yeah. I know who you're talking about, but I don't even think his album. I think that he was part of the Bad Boy rebrand when he tried to put the family back together after the I Need a Girl remixes and whatnot. But they took the family photo, but mad at them never dropped.
He put Dylon on that shit. He took Biggie off and put Dylon on.
Come on, bro.
Oh, knock it off. And I was watching Making the Band the other day, too, bro.
Come on, bro.
Like,
why are we doing that? Is it Kane? Oh, he probably ended up being one of the Puff writers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we doing here?
Did anybody listen to the Love album enough to know if Conway got a feature on there? Because I'm like, it's kind of messed up. They fact checked us with the Dame Dash interview the other day. Every other comment was Dame Dash already been on Shannon. So I want to get my facts straight, guys, because y'all was going kind of crazy with that one.
I mean, can we talk about that for a second? Let's be clear. If we didn't remember that Dame was on Club Shay Shay, should it not tell us that if he goes on there right now with the level of platform that Club Shay Shay is, or what Steve Stout just did in the back of an Uber, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't it benefit Dame and the American New Network to go on that platform right now?
Yeah.
Listen, Cat Williams seems everything.
Refute the claims and all that, you know.
Shouts to y'all that put that together yourselves. You know what I mean? But my whole thing.
Go ahead, Mace.
My whole thing is that I feel like Puff could have did him a favor. Pause. You know, don't nobody want to do Dave favors in 2024. But this is like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, could have did a feature. You know what I mean? Remember how he linked up with Ross and Ross like almost elevated just by having Puff around him? He could have gave Conway some sort of look if he was going to steal this record and give it to his son.
So somebody let me know. Was this around the same time that Conway and Funk Flex were having their issues?
I wonder.
That was like a year and change ago. That was roughly like
it was roughly the same time.
We got a couple of super chats to get to in the meantime while the chat puts us on. Marcos with a super chat says the best rapper died on March 9th. RIP Big. Salute Marcos. Big Uptown Energy. You know what I mean?
Marcos, that's my dog.
Leroy Green with the super chat says the thing with Ransom is he's holding all the power. He has his fan base, his pen is on point, and he's making money. It's time he create a space just for him. Yeah, fair play. I see the vision. Anybody got a push back against that, or y'all see where Leroy's coming from?
He making sense.
Leroy nice. So you know what I mean? He nice enough for me to listen to him.
Fair enough. We have Andre Miller with another super chat today. Super chat. Oh no, I think Max still got it low key. We got superstar personalities without superstar talent and superstar talent without superstar personalities, including Cole and Kendrick. That's hurt the game. Wow, you just gave us a topic idea, Andre. Wow. Superstar
Andre Miller with the assist.
Please do not discount the superstar budget because that's
You know
what I mean?
Sometimes you can have the budget and the thing don't hit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you know, there's a lot of people who feel like Schoolboy album ain't it, and he had the budget.
But bro,
I disagree with them, but he had the budget.
I mean, look, when you give Ransom a Schoolboy budget, you know what I mean?
That'd be something magical.
I don't know. I think Rand is right where he's supposed to be at because his style of rapping is very specific for a very specific audience. And when you get that type of money, then the powers that be feel like they're gonna need you to do a certain kind of record to make that money back. It ain't free money, you know what I mean?
And they're gonna be in the room checking and telling you to do everything they want you to do. You won't have the freedom like he has to do his thing anymore either. So it'll change things.
All of a sudden, there's a Metro Boomin beat just across your desk, and you're like, "Wait a minute, I don't do this.
I didn't mention this. What are you talking about?"
That's a fact. But speaking of Metro Boomin, word got out that Metro and Future are dropping a project coming pretty soon. Just to say, you can sit in the corner for this one, Sim. We'll pass it to you open. 2 albums in less than a month. Diddy over there dancing. What's the word, Dean? Like, talk to me. How excited are you about these projects?
I'm lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is our time, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is the time where the Sonics matter. We're gonna push the bars to the side. We're not gonna get barred to death, but you're gonna have some of the greatest Sonics, some of the greatest moments. I'm here for this, man. We haven't with the last. When's the last time they connected on a full length project? It probably was like the shit with Drake, right?
Minute ago.
That's the full length joint. What's the name of that shit? What's the name of the Drake and joint? Time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
That if I get even an inkling of that, bro, on this album, I'm gonna be halfway there. I'm ecstatic. I think Future's work on the tracks mixed with Metro's Sonics together, I really can't lose. I'm just hoping everything is the way it's supposed to be. That's all I'm hoping. If it's the way it's supposed to be, of course. Stop it, bro. Of course.
Listen, not only that, Dean.
Showed up on the album before that, didn't he?
Not only that, Dean, but they dropped the trailer with the Prodigy and Pac interviews. Did you hear that, bro? Like they got me. Listen, man. Two of my favorite ever. We got Metro. We got Future. Listen, man.
Excited.
They've been teasing this project for a while. Pause. We've been waiting on it, but 2 projects. We ready for this, man. We got Metro. We got Future. You know what I mean? This is like Kobe and Phil getting back together. Only more rings are gonna come out of this. So big rings, actually. You know what I mean? They already got, but then Future already got about a 4-peat. You know what I mean? He about to have more than Bill Russell by the time it ends. But listen, we of course we ready for this project. Sin, I know. Listen, I think Sin actually low key appreciates Metro a lot more than he might appreciate Future. So maybe we get Sin to listen just for the instrumentals or something, bro. What's going on?
It's possible. I mean, I'll definitely tap in. Look, you know what I mean? This is clearly not my lane, not my bag. But you know what I mean? I'm part of the rap roundtable now. You know what I mean? So I got to do my due diligence. I'll definitely tap in. It's 2 separate albums coming out.
Yeah,
2 separate
that's
days? Like
side A,
side
I
B.
Speculate. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
They be doubting you, Sin. We know your shoulders work, man. You know what I'm saying? They be doubting you, Sin. We know what it is, but when the tunes is fire, they fire.
But while
listen.
we're here, though.
Sin, because you talking about this, I'm excited. Hold on. Let me.
Because while we're here, though, because like, all right, you might have some takes about the expectations of the album, but I was going to go into this tweet I seen the other day as to why somebody had said why they don't understand why Future is not included with the big 3, Kendrick, Cole, and Drake. And I was gonna have, I was gonna get some takes from the fellas, but Jav, go ahead and you know what I mean? Give us a take on that.
All I gotta say is, if you telling me in this year we done got Schoolboy Q, a full-length project that's fire, all the other releases we've gotten so far that's fire. Now I'm getting two Future and Metros in a year. We might get Pusha T later, but let's go back to Future and Metro. You know what my car is going to be doing? All the New Yorkers know. We got the speed cameras, the 25 miles per hour joint. The tickets are going to be raining on my car, bro. Future Metro? Are you kidding me?
Hold on, Job. Hold on, chill, because you're a hating New Yorker.
No. Oh man. Oh yeah, you're right.
According to Twitter, you know what I mean?
You're right. Bias.
Listen. That argument only works when we say things that they don't like. They love us when we talk good about the South, but the minute we say Redacted is not as good as you think he is, oh, you guys are from New York, You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? We know what it is already. Defund the podcast. Take away the equipment. You know how it goes. But listen, if my car gets impounded, this summer, and I'm asking y'all for Uber money, y'all know exactly why. It's these two projects right here, B. I'm locked in.
Looking forward to this, man.
Listen, and as far as what Sin was talking about, I think it depends on what type of thing. Where I feel like for a lot of us, Future was a big fall, and Future was already on the list. You know what I mean? I understand people who, subscribe to a more traditional sort of you gotta be a super barsmith to be in my top anything. I understand people coming from that perspective. Future was very much an artist who that type of fan had a huge distaste for, pause, when he first, came out. But listen, for a lot of us, he was already, that was already the list. And he wasn't number 4, if you want to be honest.
Wow. Say that again, Mace?
Listen, you heard it, y'all. Whoa. Top 4, but not 4, you heard?
Top 4, but not 4.
Not 4.
So who you moving out the way, Diddy, Kendrick?
Today?
Yeah.
That's a steep mountain. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's a steep mountain. Because what
he's the politician,
bro.
This should have been a layup for you, bro. Like, what are you doing?
You ran the break.
That was a windmill.
Mace threw the out pass. I caught it. I threw it off the backboard to this fucking guy, and he turned the ball over.
I'm not here to just slander. I'm not here to just slander. You know what I'm saying? I give the nigga his props when I give him his props. Do I not?
Yeah.
Y'all niggas want me to cook. Y'all want me to cook. You want me to
cook a layup. I wanted to
we already turned the ball over. It's over.
niggas want me to cook the nigga and tell me, yo, you hate this nigga in 2 episodes later.
Yes.
Stop it, bro.
Yes, the point.
It's that said Punch might be watching. Is that it?
Nah, bro. Specifically, I'm always gonna give him grace for the first album, bro. I'm always gonna give him grace. Like, the ability is there. You know what I'm saying? He's just not.
Yo, I don't want to hear no more Kendrick slander from you, bro.
It is what it is.
I don't. Matter of fact, I'm not even. From now on, bro, chat, y'all can hold me to this. I'm never asking Dini about Kendrick ever again, bro. Tim will have to ask that nigga. I'm never doing it.
It is what it is.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, Dean,
out
of the 2 discographies, Kendrick has the best album. The long pause.
Yeah. Right. Look at Mad City, bro. Look at it. What was the conversation? That it's like this generation's Illmatic and shit. It was a ground shaking album. Who I think is the more the person I would listen to more? No question, Future. But for what he did with that album, I'm not gonna shit on the greatness of that album for the whack shit he's been putting out as of late. You get what I'm saying? And it is whack.
He hasn't missed once, but I respect it, Dean.
Mr. Mid is whack, bro.
Who wins in the verses, Dean? Future or Kendrick?
Future.
All right. Sure.
Unless there's a lot of incense in the building.
We got a couple
there's a lot of incense.
Even in LA, if it's in LA.
Even in LA, bro. If there's a lot of incense, he got it. You know what I'm saying? But if it's sonicality
and dashikis,
bro, Future beat a lot of our favorite niggas in the verses, bro. I would hate to say it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of our favorite niggas would get smoked in the verses against Future, you know? So it is what it is.
All right, we got a couple of super chats here. We got Mad Max with a super chat. He says, Cole, my mans, but Future changes Sonics, Cole and Dot. Didn't drink Future and peak ASAP Rocky was better than Dot and Cole. I don't know about that, Rocky. You had me until Rocky.
That's crazy.
Cole, my mans, but Dot, you still whack. Mike H, the super chat, says those albums will be the soundtrack of every hookah lounge this summer. Yes. Yes.
Club, hookah lounge.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? Basement trap house. All of them, man.
Come on.
Listen,
now.
I know y'all are all Future fans, but is it not a possibility that it might be past his prime and he might not deliver the way? Okay.
No, he ain't fall off yet, bro. He don't.
The biggest record.
Last album was tough.
He don't got to
think about it. The biggest song from Metro's last album, not the Spider-Man soundtrack, but Heroes and Villains, was the Future joint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You hear that song, and if the album sound remotely close to that, bro, listen, y'all The super chat money will be my Uber money because I won't have a car because it's gonna be speeding tickets all summer. All summer. We got Mad Max with another super chat. He says Future is better than Cole and Dot from their era. If we being for real, people actually copy Future, and he brought something different. Cole and Dot did it. This is crazy
because it was easy to copy.
Better is a because even I'm talking about as from a musicality standpoint. Better is tough because if you wanted to hear bars in the conversation is Future or J. Cole, I mean, what are we doing? We're talking specifically sonicality, but some people are just bar niggas.
Yeah. I gotta step in here because, like, I don't want to be the back in the day guy. Yeah, no, I'm lying. I do. I love being the back in the day guy because back in the day, when you heard of Rakim and the G rap, you aspired to do that because it was not easy to do. You listened to the Shoguns and was like, "Yo, how can I do what they do?" You know what I mean? We're in the era now where motherfuckers is buying Future style because that shit was easy to do.
Are you saying that Future's done? You saying Future's done more harm than good?
Let's do the easiest thing so that we can get the money up, get the bags up, get the streams up, get the numbers up. Let's do the easiest possible thing to do. That's what the era is.
Sin said defund free bands, bro. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yes. People do what sounds good, bro.
When Panda first dropped, the niggas thought that was Future. They went crazy, including
crazy.
You was shaking your shoulders.
I say Panda. Shit, I like Panda better than anything else from Future.
You didn't care if they were real sisters, Sin. You didn't.
The Percocet and the stripper joint.
Come on, bro.
You didn't care, bro.
Marcos with a super chat says, low key, as a native New Yorker, Future got it. If you know, you know. Come on, Marcos. It's the Uptown to him. He know Uptown like a good vibe. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Marcos, man.
Mad Max to the super chat says, Diddy, my brother in Christ, good kid, Mad City, 856 nights, respectfully. Future smokes dot in the verses anywhere on the planet and off planet. Ooh.
56 nights is different though. But I mean, Good Kid, Mad City is better than 56
DS2 is the only thing you can put up against Good Kid, bro. That's the only thing you can put up against.
Jermaine L. Johnson, defending Sin's honor, says the minimum requirement for being considered a great rapper is rapping great. This is a fair argument. That might be a checkmate argument right there from Jermaine. I'm not gonna lie.
Got it, bro.
Yo, Jay with the rule book. I see it.
Champs, man.
We wait just to keep everybody abreast. We're waiting on our guests. We're trying to get the technicals situated. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to ask him the first question if he got an Android because you know what I mean. I'm starting to wonder. You know what I mean? Do you have an Android or an iPhone? What's going on? Are the text bubbles blue or green? You know what I mean?
Metro full length Metro album, Future album. Are we gonna get a Drake verse?
Got to.
I mean, what Metro and him was talking crazy about each other recently.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Got to.
You know
Future could bridge that gap, bro. If anybody could bridge that gap, it would be Future.
It would be Future. You right. And they was beefing over women like petty shit. You right.
See, that's that pillow talk. Money Grip says Future is Atlanta's Jay-Z. That's interesting.
He called himself that, right?
It's a conversation. Not as far as financially, but as far as the respect in the game.
The run.
Yeah.
The run has been I would have 5 years ago, I probably would have said T.I. if you want to be honest.
I was gonna say
Future is still Future's never ended the run, bro. That like the only Atlanta nigga that can say that. Be honest. You know what I mean?
Too much music, Sin.
Hold on. Brazy Mandem says, y'all think Kendrick with his Black Lives Matter raps can be Future in the verses with women?
Not no verses.
Women don't care about Black Lives? What's going on?
Yo. You know, I don't know who Brazy Mandem is, but I love to see new names in the chat. Shout out to Brazy Man. That was quite slanderous, and we love slander at the Rap Round Table. That's crazy though. Black Lives Matter. You don't think all right could beat it?
I might be problematic right now. I might be problematic, but I think women don't support conscious rap. What's going on?
Niggas be burning sage at the Kendrick concert, bro.
Now we got the beast to say with his own argument, but when you get on that stage in that stadium environment and you play it all right, and then Real Sisters comes on, or because I'm going, you know what I'm saying? Or if you go into the fucking the Evil bag, you know what I'm saying?
Trap
Like,
niggas.
Can't
Yeah,
lose, man. You can't lose.
All right is not beating trap niggas in the verses.
50
All right
Come
is
on.
not beating trap niggas in the verses.
I am 100% willing to admit that Future
Or
would
fuck up some
probably
comp.
be
It ain't no
on
time.
a versus stage.
Fuck up some
Because of what
time.
his versus stage is.
When the baseline on fuck
probably,
up some
son.
commas drops
Ain't
in
no
the
probably,
verses,
son.
Kendrick might
Fuck
have
up
to
some
leave,
commas
bro.
is crazy.
The,
Yeah. Ain't no
he get
ain't
into
no
the
problem.
collaboration bag.
It's
What was the
over.
joint he was doing with Young Money? Would it have everybody that the $1 million?
Come
The
on.
$1 million. Ooh, that joint. Come
Nicki,
on, bro.
Wayne,
You
yeah.
got the big collabs. You know what I mean?
Come
But
on, bro.
I mean,
Future,
you know what I mean? But this goes to show, like, just the same way I'm willing to admit, you know what I mean, a certain, you know, local celebrity rapper might beat Nas in a versus because of what a versus stage is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kendrick's my guy, but he might have a long night against the Future on the versus stage.
I don't. Who's Kendrick beating in the versus period with a 5-year gap? That's the question.
Wow, that's a
You know what I mean?
conversation.
Does he have 20?
ASAP Rocky, that's it, man.
God damn, Mace.
Might not be able to beat
God
Cole right
damn.
now. Just off the
Yeah.
features.
God damn.
Future beating Cole too, but between Cole and Kenny in the
question.
verses,
I think this run that Cole been on, he could probably stand in the ring in the future.
with that
Nah.
no role model,
Come on, because we got.
Was he gonna play to fuck the crowd up though?
Taylor Two Cities. He got some
Come
joints.
on, bro.
We
You
got
where the
Humble.
ass is at, dog? Niggas wasn't fit. Ain't got
We
nothing.
got
for that.
Loyalty. Shit. Kendrick got a bag, bro. Don't act like Kendrick doesn't have a bag to go into.
He don't.
Bro.
Matter of
He has
fact,
a bag.
nobody. None of these new guys got a stick talk in their
Control.
repertoire.
Well, if he drops Control, if he does Control on the Kendrick on the versus stage, it's a wrap.
We won't care, bro.
He didn't even
It won't
mention
matter,
Future
bro.
on
In the
there.
words of Stephen A. Smith, we won't care. Like, I'm sorry, bro.
That would hit harder against an artist he mentioned in there, but he didn't mention Future on there.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
Because he wasn't even worth mentioning. That's why, bro. That's what I'm trying to say.
Doria with a super chat. Hold on, honor and respect. He says a lot of these cats y'all call rappers aren't rappers. They're R&B singers with a lot of rap and hip hop influence. Don't put them on the list for MCs. Of course. Listen, I'm the angry old guy when it comes to that. All these melodic dudes don't need to be in the argument, but Future actually does rap as well. He does everything.
I know Sin don't want to hear that.
Crazy man, them. He said Kendrick a legend, but he not even beating Wale.
Damn, nigga said not even beating Wale. Crazy man, them.
You
You're
wild,
crazy,
bro.
bro.
You wild for that.
All right, hold on.
That's very wild.
Y'all keep cooking. I gotta sort out something with the technicals.
I say less.
You know what I mean?
Kendrick. No, Wale is like he's a tier below. Like Wale gotta go against Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying?
Gun to your head, 5 Wale songs, yeah, dead body.
Bro, I'm dead, bro. I'm fucking dead.
Gun to your head. Even if
Big Sean's in that tier. Big Sean might be the best out of that tier. He's not in the, you know what I mean?
He's not in the Shogun tier, but he's up there.
No, he's not.
He's up there. He used to be in the conversation, then he just got phased out. It was a conversation for a little while. Mad
Max with another super chat. Shouts to Max again. I know all the better artists always with what happened there? I'll just read it off the side. You know all the better artists always win a versus, and Mace ASAP Washington Dot in a versus. Don't play with my man's early work. He was like that. ASAP over Kendrick. Let's be real. I know we're trying to be funny. You know what I mean?
ASAP stop rapping.
You know what I mean? But come on, man.
ASAP don't have. He don't have 20. ASAP don't have 20 joints to go.
Not
20 joints that's going.
Not even close, man.
ASAP was about to be like ASAP was about to be the nigga to take over, but he stopped rapping.
I mean, you got your early ASAP classical joints, Pesos.
He's gonna have to bring his baby moms up on stage to do like half her joints.
Damn,
you know what I mean?
That's
if he do, then I'm voting ASAP. Then
that's crazy, son. Nigga say he got to bring the BM.
The only way.
He might have 40 joints in the discography totally, Max, but like not in the verses, my boy. Like, I'm with we from the town.
40 joints you want to hear in the 40 joints you want to hear in the verses.
I hate that.
Rocky?
This might be the first time I mentioned ASAP on a pod. I feel disrespectful because I'm a fan, bro. I am, but Come on, man. ASAP got Joel syndrome, bro.
He too busy.
Does he rap?
Man.
Does he rap?
Just don't have the teeth fall out ASAP, please.
Nah,
Damn it,
man. Nah, no. He ain't bring that hammer to the airport neither.
Facts. Marco says Schoolboy is better than Rocky. Yeah, pretty clearly to me.
Schoolboy
might be able to smoke Rocky in the verses. Schoolboy got joints.
Versus Rocky in the verses would be dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Got some joints, man.
Sean, yeah, my boy 2-3 says Sean Cook and Wale. That's a fact. Sean's underrated.
That's not really saying much though. No disrespect. That's not really saying much though. You know what I'm saying? Like
the 2010s versus ranking. That's interesting.
Yeah, I kind of wish versus was still around, or maybe if it makes a resurgence, like 5-10 years from now, and the 2010 dudes go up and do a couple verses, that would be kind of fire.
Why did it stop immediately after they were like got the money for it? Like, was this an insurance scheme the entire time, bro? What happened?
The whole thing was based. No, I mean, at the end of the day, it all really works out because people were in the crib. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason why it was able to work. Like, on a regular day, you try to pull that shit, unless it's iconic art.
What they did one day, they did Onyx versus who? It was a garbage, bro. It was,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
they did a whack one.
Nigga,
was it Onyx and Bone Thugs, was it?
Nah, Bone Thugs was 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
It was like Onyx and like Cypress Hill or something. Like, disrespect.
Oh, you're right. Cypress Hill. It was Cypress Hill.
Man, that's crazy.
Legends in their own right, but not.
And it
not
was
really
never heard from again.
All right, fellas, I'm back. I just had to talk to his management. Right now, bad technical issues. We're gonna try to circle back later in the week, do a little pre-recorded vibe, only because the connectivity. He might have an Android. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? But
let us know.
Well, we're gonna sort it out. Now, I'm gonna have to bother him, but right now it's gonna be later in the week. We're gonna connect with him and record it, and then just put it out with our usual lunch hour kind of vibe, and just do it that way. Yes, but I seen the people them enjoying the Future talk. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we could talk about Future on the rap round?
Future for clicks.
Nigga, yo, it's crazy for all the New York slander they give us, man. The props we give certain, especially artists we love down south, is crazy, man. Like Future, the way Future's spoken on this podcast, bro, like it's crazy. Like he's loved over here, man.
Whenever they say that, I feel unseen because I feel like on the guest verse joint, I didn't use no New York rappers, bro. And then they say, yo, well, y'all New York bias. I'm like, I didn't even put any New York rappers, bro. Like,
listen to me. I've learned that since we've been doing this pod, especially since we started to really YouTube heavily. People do not really listen to us. They just wait to hear some shit they disagree with, and then they start typing. They don't really listen to us. You know what I mean? And I've come to, again, that's what I've learned from Sam. Before I used to really get tight, like, we really taking our time to curate this shit. And then I realized niggas ain't listening. They just waiting to disagree. So what I'm getting mad for? Right. You know what I mean? Again,
Mayor got us and he got us calm. You know what I mean?
We spent 20 minutes talking about Future. Yeah. And then let's say that the Future albums drop, right? And we say it's black. They're gonna be like, oh, y'all hate the South, bro. We were just talking about speeding tickets for this new album. Now we don't like it. We hate us. It's what it is.
The pot will always vindicate us, man.
Listen.
5 years of shit, you can just go back and check for yourself. We will always be vindicated.
They're not doing that. They just waiting to hear what we say next. Again, like the people on the internet who are mad at us, when they watch it, they not gonna hear that I said that the Wayne run, the mixtape Weezy run is immaculate, all-time great run. All they heard was Carter 3's not done. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's a off, by the way, too. Shout out to everybody fucking with that. That shit's ringing off.
That's about to go.
Yeah, shout out to y'all, man.
I mean, I think they don't. That's 750.
They don't hear when we give love, bro. When we support shit.
We don't have a specific accent. As New Yorkers, we have no bail. We can't say anything bad. That's just how it's no funny shit. Don't laugh, Diddy. See, you laugh.
It is what it is. But it is fucking hilarious.
As New Yorkers, we already like negative 500 when it comes to rap opinion. So we got to work our way to zero before we could get equity. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
That's just how it is. Niggas here arguing about Big Sean now. This is my kind of argument.
Yeah, man. We was arguing verses, man. We was debating the 2010s rapper verses.
You was gone because I said Big Sean is in the Wale Meek
No, he's not.
tier.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's
No,
not
he's
in
not.
the
No,
Drake
he's not.
Kendrick Cole tier.
No, he's not.
Oh,
But
the
he's
versus
the best
stage.
of that tier. But he's
Joe,
the
we not
best of
letting
that
that
tier.
Palisades verse
He's the
get him
king
out
of
the.
that. He's all NBA team too. You know what I mean?
That's
But
the
them
third
boys-
team. I ain't gonna hold you. That's the third
Word,
team.
because Meek and Wale not second team all
That's
NBA.
third team.
They're not even all NBA right now. They just league pass niggas. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my god. All-Star game attendees.
Hey,
They
Paul
not
George,
they
man.
in street clothes in the crowd at the All-Star game. They not even. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'll leave for 5 minutes and y'all talk about. You know we gonna wrap this live up. You know what I mean?
Big Sean got the whole pot of dissension, bro.
Boy.
Man, boy. Wow.
Late.
Nah, but real talk, we're gonna get up out of here. We was trying to like stall a little bit of time, see if our guests would come on, but due to technical difficulties, you couldn't make it. But you see how we do when you give us lemons, we make lemonade. We done pulled up a whole segment, talked about Future out of left field. This was not planned. You know what I mean? We just said let's talk about some Future. Y'all see how we cook the pod with no plans. This is how it usually goes, which I want to talk about today. All right, let's talk about that.
Fuck it.
You know what I mean? But anyway, Dini, take us home, bro.
Yo, salute to the chat. Everybody in there on your way out, hit that like button. Help us get out there, expand to the rest of the world so we can give y'all the shit we trying to give y'all. Shout out to Jav, the point guard. Shout out to Sincere, the rap snob. Shout out to Macito, voice of the industry. Diddy, the bounce of the force.
Hold on. I
Damn,
just realized we had another super chat. Did y'all get this one from Mad Max?
Which one?
Oh yeah, we got that one.
Make sure. Just want to make sure. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Shout out to everybody that gave us a super chat. Roundtable merch. Get yourself some merch. We love y'all. We're going to drop again later this week. We see y'all soon. Lunch hour on the way. Be good, y'all. Monday night, Tuesday night raw. Pause. We out of here. Boom.
Yo, hold on.
You.
Did we get all of these? Dini, my brother in Christ.
Yeah, we got all of them.
Oh, we got all these. Okay.
Yeah, we got them.
Yeah, we are.
Got him.